Hey everyone, Lori here with Tracy. Actually, one of the few times these days we get to be in person together, so we thought we would sign on real quick and record a few tips and tricks for you. So, part of our Threading It Together series. Today we're going to be talking about corporate partnerships, corporate funding for nonprofits. So, Tracy, this is where all the money is, right? Corporations have all the money.
No. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but that's just not the truth. And we just want to kind of level set that. Maybe what we're going to call a little myth busting today. We want to talk a little bit about those statistics, but no, of the plus 400 plus, $427 billion, the last Giving USA report that we got, corporations are and their foundations and what you're receiving from corporations, less like 5%. And that's been the trend, right?
Yeah, so anyone, if you're not familiar with the Giving USA data set, it's an annual study done of all of the philanthropic gifts in the United States every year, and they break it down by source. And so corporations are one of the pieces of the pie, and it's actually the smallest piece of the pie, I believe.
It is. Regularly the smallest piece of the pie. And something that's interesting to us is that the pie is also broken out in a couple other pieces, individuals, foundations, as well as bequests. And the people who are giving through their planned giving and their will, so people who have passed give closer to 9-10% of that pie. So they're giving almost twice as much as corporate America gives in the full scheme of the thing. So
dead people give more than corporations is what you're saying.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So like Tracy said, myth busting. One of the things you should know right up off the bat with corporate fundraising is that it is not a huge pot of money, just in the grand scheme of things. So sometimes it's the flashier pot of money, like you hear about it in the news and corporations are sharing it on their website, so it might seem bigger. But again, check out Giving USA for the data set if you want to dig into this, but 5%, right?
5%, regularly. That's the trend. But, we don't want to discourage people. We just want to make sure that you're prioritizing your time when it looks like when you look into your data about your organization and where that money is really coming from, we're going to make some assumptions that a lot of it will come from individuals, probably some from grants, etc. We just want you to prioritize your time because, small teams, limited number of development or fundraisers or volunteers working on fundraising, we just want you to put that time towards the strategies that are going to really drive your fundraising and your revenue forward in really exponential ways. Do your research, but just I would say don't expect corporations to come way up in your revenue streams as far as the amount of total dollars it's going to bring to you annually. There are benefits to that money in those partnerships, and we don't want to say that there's not, but we just want you to be really, really thoughtful about how you're prioritizing your time as you're working in corporate partnerships.
Totally. So takeaway number one, if after hearing that kind of landscape, you realize that maybe corporations are not the best fit for you, that's okay. If that's what you take from this video, that's okay. But now we are going to get into, it's not all doom and gloom. There is a lot of opportunity with corporate partnerships. So we're going to cover just a few key reasons you might want to go after corporate funding, might make it worth that time, even though that the piece of the pie is small. So the first thing I would say is that when you do have a corporate partner, because they're usually connecting their giving to their marketing and their strategy of the organization, there tends to be a better opportunity for actually publicity in a good way around your nonprofit and your mission and the partnership. There is more likely that will go beyond just the two of you and get pushed out to the employees of the corporation at a minimum, and then maybe the customers of that corporation and the community at large. So it can really help raise the profile of your organization to have a big corporate partner. Tracy, what else would you say?
I think, when you think about real specific programming that you want to bring forward, like either start something new, or if you want to take something that is in a pilot phase and launch it large, a corporate partnership with a values-aligned corporate partner in your location or even nationally or wherever you might be can really bring to the forefront some really important programming that meets the needs of your client base immediately. And I think that's a benefit of a corporate partnership. They can take something from very small and take it to that next level and the next iteration of that. So you're serving more people, and helping it come very quickly into reality for the people who, or whatever mission that you have. You're bringing that to the forefront almost right away within a really short time frame if you've worked the partnership in a really successful way. So I think that's another. It's like an injection. It could be like kind of on steroids a little bit. Like we're here. We made it. Yes, we're doing good things right away, which is awesome.
And because corporate partnerships can be more custom and unique and involved, I should say. You know, a foundation tends to have an RFP, a process. You write a grant, they give you money. They're not going to get that involved. A corporation likes to get more involved with your work and get their employees involved, and again, the marketing element and things like that. So while that can take a lot longer to develop, the uniqueness and the personalness of those partnerships can also mean that they last longer, that you are more ingrained in the work that the corporation is doing or it's trying to do with its mission. And so while getting in the door can be a barrier for those who get in the door, one of the benefits can be a lot longer term. That's why we use the word partnership, actually, than just funding that's transactional and kind of can come or go over time. These partnerships can really build over time and be a little bit more just have a more sustained element to them.
I've also seen something else comes to mind. You know, corporate partnerships can really help expand your grassroots base, like in logistically. Like if you're partnering with somebody who might be a business might be local to you or where your headquarters are, or who really are uplifting your partnerships in a specific location. I have seen that sometimes corporate partnerships can really help you go deep into the community in which you're striving to serve. Of course, you want to be thoughtful about that mission and values alignment, which we might talk about later in another video. But I have really seen it be able to like rally a group of people through a corporate or a business base in a specific location around your mission.
Totally agree. So there you have it, a little food for thought, if you will, that you remember this is not a big pot of money and there's a lot of competition for it. So it can be hard to get, and you should prioritize your time appropriately, like Tracy said. But also, we just rattled off quite a few things that make corporate partnerships really unique kind of funding and special and worth the effort if you're going to be a good match. So in some of our other YouTube videos, we go into how you can figure out whether your particular organization would be a good match for a corporation, or maybe you're better suited for other kinds of funding. So we suggest you check those out as well. But this is a good place to get started, and we thank you for joining us on this Threading It Together. Certainly hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel and reach out to us through our website if we can answer any other questions for you. Thanks so much.
Happy fundraising.